What's a story, amigos? This is Kino with some cool stories for today's story time.
Our first story is about a girl and her dad and the surprise they prepare for Mom. Hurry, hurry. Get the trowel, spread the papers thick. Get the bag of potting soil. Get the planting mix. Then, Brett Butler reads about what happens when a fly comes into a boy's room.
The fly turned right, and the dog's tail swept off a mountain of muddy pants and crusty socks.
In our last story, the boy's in bed, Grandma closes the door, and...
Eek! It made a terrible squeak. Nathaniel Willie got scared again. Yow-wow! He cried.
Major funding for Storytime is made possible by a grant from Helen and Peter Bain, so that families everywhere can share the joy of reading with their children. Additional funding is provided by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting and by the annual financial support from viewers like you.
Hi, Kino.
Oh, hi, Lucy. Whoa, who's the present for? Is it for me?
No, it's not for you. It's for your mom.
For my mom? Why?
Well, because tomorrow's her birthday.
Tomorrow? You're kidding. Ay, ay, ay. I don't have anything for her.
Well, what would she like?
I don't know. I'd like to give her something really nice. You know, like a sports car or a fancy sweater.
Ooh, do you have enough money to buy her any of those things?
I spent all of it except for 15 cents. But that's not enough to buy her even a candy bar. Not even.
Well, you know, Kino, you don't have to buy her something. I'm sure she would be happy with anything that shows that you remembered it was her birthday.
Well, what do you mean?
You'll think of something. Here, let's read a story about a little girl and what she did for her mother's birthday. It's called Flower Garden, and it was written by Eve Bunting with pictures by Catherine Hewitt.
Flowers, huh? Boy, I wish I could give my mom some flowers.
Well, here we go. Garden in a shopping cart. Doesn't it look great? Garden on the checkout stand. I can hardly wait. Garden in a cardboard box. Walking to the bus. Garden sitting on our laps. People smile at us. Garden going up the stairs. Stopping at each floor. This garden's getting heavier. At last, our own front door. Hurry, hurry. Get the trowel, spread the papers thick. Get the bag of potting soil. Get the planting mix. Put the purple pansies at each end. Daisies white as snow. Daffodils, geraniums, and tulips in a row. Garden in a window box, high above the street, where butterflies can stop and rest, and ladybugs can meet. Walkers walking down below will lift their heads and see purple, yellow, red, and white, a color jamboree. Candles animals on a birthday cake. Chocolate ice cream, too.
Yum.
Happy, happy birthday, Mom. A garden box for you. The end. And what did you think of that story?
Oh, Lucy, could you show me one of the pictures from the book again?
Oh, sure. Oh, which one?
Not that one. No, not that one. 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 Oh, yeah, that one. That's the one.
Oh, yes. That is a beautiful painting.
Well, I like it because the mother looks so happy. That's the way I want my mom to look after I give her a present for her birthday. Ay. If only I could think of something to give her.
Did the story give you any ideas?
Well, the girl gave her mom a little garden, but my mom already has a garden.
A flower garden made by the girl. Since they lived in an apartment without a yard, they made a garden in a box.
Right, with her dad. They made it together.
Ah.
What? Hey, maybe I could make my mom something. Let me see. I'm thinking real hard. I know. I'll paint her something.
Oh, that's a great idea. And I can set you up right here.
Oh, okay. Thanks, Lucy.
Hello.
Hi, Brett. Oh, hi, Alicia. Hi, Russell.
Oh, hi. Hi, Alicia. Hi, Russell. Hi, Brett.
Hi, Kino. You doing some artwork?
Oh, yep. I'm going to make a present for my mom because her birthday is tomorrow.
Well, great. What are you making?
It is a beautiful red heart birthday card painted all by me, except I'm just starting it right now.
Well, I bet she'll really like that.
Oh, I hope so. I was having a hard time coming up with something to give her, and her birthday is tomorrow. Say, Russell and Alicia, did you ever make something for your mom or your dad?
Flowers or stuff like that. I made a card.
What kind of a card did you make, Russell?
I just wrote anything.
Did you say I love you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to say that on mine. Did you give them things like that for their birthdays?
Yeah, sometimes.
Oh, Brett, did you bring a book?
Yes, I did. I thought we could read it while Kino's finishing his artwork, okay?
Oh, yeah. I'll listen from here because I want to finish my present for my mom.
Okay. This story's called When the Fly Flew In by Lisa Westberg Peters, and the pictures are by Brad Sneed. In a quiet room, a dreaming dog wagged his tail. A fuzzy cat snoozed. A plump hamster napped in a shoe. And a sleepy parakeet whistled on the bedpost. I can't clean my room, a child whispered to his mother. All the animals are sleeping. I'll clean it later. When a fly flew in, the dog opened an eye, wiggled a whisker, then leaped up to catch it. The fly turned left, and the dog's tail sent a dozen dinosaurs sailing. The fly turned right, and the dog's tail swept off a mountain of muddy pants and crusty socks. The fly turned in circles, and the dog's tail pushed off a pile of moldy old apple cores and banana peels. But the fly was always one turn ahead of the dog. When the fly buzzed by the cat streaked after it. The fly zigged. The cat zagged. The fly zagged. The cat zigged. The fly was always a zig or a zag ahead of the dust mop cat. When the fly stopped to nibble on a cookie crumb in the closet, the hamster took notice. The hamster didn't care about flies, but he did care about cookies. He shooed the fly away and ate the crumb in the closet. Then the raisins on the radio. Even the popcorn inside a party hat. But the fly always stayed one nibble ahead of the hamster. When the fly zipped around the ceiling, the parakeet watched closely because watching flies is a bird's business. But she couldn't watch any longer. Zoom! She swooped into a corner full of cobwebs. Zap! She flapped behind the curtains, thick with more webs. The parakeet gobbled up the spiders, and their webs trailed from her wings like kite strings. But the fly was always one web ahead of her. In a quiet room, a dog twitched his tail as he dreamed about flies. A cat curled up, her coat licked clean. A hamster settled down for a second nap. A weary parakeet fluffed her feathers. The fly flew out, and the room was clean. The end.
Oh, are flies bugs?
Well, I would say yes. Why?
Because I'd like to have a fly like the one in the book as a pet, so it would help me clean my room. But my mom says I can't keep any bugs or gross critters in my room.
You'd like to have a bug as a pet?
Oh, sure. My friend Kevin has a spider as a pet. Are spiders bugs?
Yeah, they're insects.
What do you think?
I think they're bugs.
I do too. Are they?
You know, bugs are actually a very small part of the insect world. And spiders aren't bugs, and neither are flies. The only thing that's a bug is like something that actually has the name of a bug, like water bugs, stink bugs, and bed bugs.
How about that?
Hey, Kino, is your room as messy as the one in the story?
Oh, well, sometimes yes and sometimes no. Oh, say, Alicia and Russell, what about your rooms? Are your rooms messy all the time or only some of the time?
Sometimes.
Well, what do you do to clean it up?
We make up something or we help each other.
How do you help each other?
He holds the box where the toys go, and I put them in. Or not, I hold the box and he puts them in.
Do you like it better when your room is cleaned up or when it's messy? Can you find things?
It's better when it's cleaned up, because we can find things. And when it's not, we're looking for them and we make a bigger mess.
How about you, Russell?
Better when we clean up, because maybe sometimes we're looking for stuff and it might be under the bed or something.
Yeah, that's right.
Hey, Kino, I've got an idea. Why don't you clean your room as a present to your mother?
Yeah, I think I'll do that, because this painting isn't coming out too well. Lucy?
Yes, Kino.
Well, this painting is not working out. It's definitely not working out.
Oh, I see. Well, try it one more time, but only paint the red part. And then come over here and we'll sit and listen to Brett read us another story, okay?
Oh, okay.
This book is called Nathaniel Willie Scared Silly. It's by Judith Matthews and Faye Robinson, and the pictures are by Alexei Nachev. Nathaniel Willie and his grandma lived in a creaky old house in the country. Every night at bedtime, Grandma came into Nathaniel Willie's room. She pulled up the blanket and tucked him in, then kissed him resoundingly, smack on the chin. "Good night, eyes shut tight," she said. Then she went out the door. But one bitter cold night when Grandma closed the door, it made a terrible squeak. Nathaniel Willie got scared. He thought he'd heard a ghost. "Yow-wow!" he cried. Grandma came muttering into the room. "Don't be a silly, Nathaniel Willie. My nose is all red and my feet are all chilly. Now, what if I hurried outside to the shed and got you the cat and put him in bed? Would you be scared then?" "Oh, no," said Nathaniel Willie. "I wouldn't be scared then." So Grandma hurried outside to the shed and got the gray cat and plopped him in bed. She pulled up the blanket and tucked them both in, then kissed them resoundingly, smack on the chin. "Good night, eyes shut tight," she said. Then she went out and closed the squeaky old door. Eek! It made a terrible squeak. Nathaniel Willie got scared again. "Yow-wow!" he cried and squeezed the cat. The cat went, "Scrow!" Grandma came shivering into the room. "Don't be a silly, Nathaniel Willie. My nose is all red and my feet are all chilly. Now, what if I hurried outside to the shed and got you the dog and put her in bed? Would you be scared then?" "Oh, no," said Nathaniel Willie. "I wouldn't be scared then." So Grandma hurried outside to the shed and got the brown dog and plunked her in bed. She pulled up the blanket and tucked them all in, then kissed them resoundingly, smack on the chin. "Good night, eyes shut tight," she said. Then she went out and closed the squeaky old door. Eek! It made a terrible squeak. Nathaniel Willie got scared again. "Yow-wow!" he cried and squeezed the cat. The cat went, "Scrow!" and bit the dog. The dog went, "Warf!" Grandma came quivering into the room. "Don't be a silly, Nathaniel Willie. My nose is all red and my feet are all chilly. Now, what if I hurried outside to the shed and got you the pig and put him in bed? Would you be scared then?" "Oh, no," said Nathaniel Willie. "I wouldn't be scared then." So Grandma hurried outside to the shed and got the old pig and plunked him in bed. She pulled up the blanket and tucked them all in, then kissed them resoundingly, smack on the chin. "Good night, eyes shut tight," she said. Then she went out and closed the squeaky old door. It made a terrible squeak. Nathaniel Willie got scared again. "Yow-wow!" he cried and squeezed the cat. The cat went, "Scrow!" and bit the dog. The dog went, "Warf!" and kicked the pig. The pig went, "Snoink!" Grandma came shuddering into the room. "Don't be a silly, Nathaniel Willie. My nose is all red and my feet are all chilly. Now, what if I hurried outside to the shed and got you the cow and put her in bed? Would you be scared then?" "Oh, no," said Nathaniel Willie. "I wouldn't be scared then." And So Grandma hurried outside to the shed and got the fat cow and dumped her in bed. She pulled up the blanket and tucked them all in, then kissed them resoundingly, smack on the chin. "Good night, eyes shut tight," she said. Then she went out and closed the squeaky old door. It made a terrible squeak. Nathaniel Willie got scared again. "Yow-ow!" he cried and squeezed the cat. The cat went scrow and bit the dog. The dog went warf and kicked the pig. The pig went snoink and nosed the cow on her belly right where she was ticklish. The cow went moo, moo, mangaroo, and shot straight up into the air. She landed. Whoomp. The bed groaned, then it rattled, then it wobbled, then it broke. Crank, crash. Grandma came thundering into the room. "This is just plain too much," she bellowed. "I got you the cat, I got you the dog, I got you the pig, and I got you the cow. I thought that would help, but the bed's broken now. I am out of good ideas. I'm going to get the wise old woman who lives down the road." She went away and came back soon with the old wise woman. The old wise woman rolled her eyes and shook her head. "This is no way to go to bed." But there's a ghost in the door," cried Nathaniel Willie. The wise old woman closed the door. It made a terrible squeak. "That's not a ghost," she said. "Your door has a creak, and that makes it squeak. And now I am going to fix it." She put some oil right where the door was squeaky. "All done," she said, and went back down the road. "Silly me," said Grandma. "All this mess for nothing." She slung the fat cow up onto her back, put the old pig in a big burlap sack, with the dog on her left hip and the cat on her right. She scampered outside and kissed them good night. Then Grandma got a hammer and lots of nails. Bang, bang, bingo, bang. Grandma and Nathaniel Willie fixed the bed. "No more mess," said Grandma. "And no squeaky door," said Nathaniel Willie. Grandma let out an enormous yawn. And one last time, she put Nathaniel Willie to bed. She pulled up the blanket and tucked him in, then kissed him resoundingly, smack on the chin. "Good night, eyes shut tight," she said. Then she went out and closed the quiet old door. The end.
Excuse me for interrupting, Brett. Kino, you can try adding the white paint now.
Oh, yeah, I got it, okay.
Now, it made a bit of sense to bring the cat and the dog into bed with Nathaniel Willie, but what did you think when the grandma brought the pig in? Was that a good idea?
Not really.
How come?
Get your bed all dirty.
And go in your ear.
Keep you up all night.
What other animals would be silly to bring into bed?
The cow.
Yeah.
A sheep.
Yes.
A chicken.
A chicken.
A duck.
A duck.
A worm.
Ew. Nathaniel Willie's grandma would have saved herself a lot of trouble if she would have looked for the squeak before she started fetching all the animals in, huh?
Oh, yeah, you're right. Nathaniel Willie's grandma didn't think of oiling the door. And see, I didn't think of letting the red paint dry before painting with the white paint. Before, the problem was that the red paint and the white paint were wet, so they got mixed together, and that made a mess. Look at it now, Lucy. See, it's really looking fine.
Oh, it looks good, Kino. It's better to stop and think before jumping into action, huh?
Yeah?
What do you think, Brett?
Oh, that's really good, Kino.
How about you kids? What do you think of it?
It's nice.
Your mom will like this gift, and you know why?
Yeah, and it's not because I'm a great painter.
Oh, well, why then?
Because I made it myself. And it says, "Happy birthday, Mom. Love, Kino." I can't wait to see her face when I give it to her. I bet she'll look just like the mom in the flower garden book.
Maybe so. Oh, it's time to tell all our friends at home about our story picks for today.
Oh, yeah. My story pick is Just a Little Bit. It's about a bunch of animals crowded onto a seesaw. The mouse and the elephant are the ones who started all.
And my story pick is A Bicycle for Rosaura, about a woman looking for the perfect gift for her pet hen. And that's all for today. Well, come back and join us for more stories. Until then, keep a story in your heart.
Adios, my super amigos. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Today's Storytime books are Flower Garden by Eve Bunting, illustrated by Catherine Hewitt. When the Fly Flew In by Lisa Westberg Peters, pictures by Brad Sneed. Nathaniel Willie Scared Silly by Judith Matthews and Faye Robinson, illustrated by Alexei Natchev. Just a Little Bit by Anne Tompert, illustrated by Lynn Munsinger. And A Bicycle for Rosaura by Daniel Barbeau, illustrated by Morella Fuenmayor. You can find these and other books at your local library.
Major funding for Storytime is made possible by a grant from Helen and Peter Bain, so that families everywhere can share the joy of reading with their children. Additional funding is provided by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting and by the annual financial support from viewers like you. Storytime is a production of KCET Los Angeles.